Are you tired of boring and ugly variables to keep track of your score? Well, by the end of this tutorial, you'll go from this to this. Stick around to learn how to do it. So starting out here in your brand new project, you're just going to go ahead and delete the scratch cat. And then hover over to the panel that says choose a sprite and then hit paint. This will open up your costume editor. Go to your text tool and then we're just going to adjust the color real quick. And then we're just going to write down a number 1. Center it up on the stage and then adjust the size a little bit and then go ahead and recenter it. And then you're going to rename the costume 1. And then what you're going to do next is duplicate this, and this will automatically convert the name to 2. And then you're just going to adjust the following sprites as shown here. And then the important thing you need to do here is when you get to the last one, you're going to change it from 10 to 0. And then you're going to rename it here, just do a 0, center it up. And there you go, so you have all your costumes here. Make sure you have all 10 shown. And then go back to the code tab, and then we're going to start programming it. But before we do this, we're going to create some new variables. The first one is going to be called score. This one is for all sprites. And the next one is going to be called clone ID. And it's very important for this one that you select for this sprite only. And then next up, you're going to create a new variable called, and this one is also going to be for this number only, and you're going to call it old number. Hit OK. And then I'm just going to readjust these because that's where we want our actual number sprite to go. And then next up, drag in a when green flag clicked block. And then you're going to say this one, which is a go to XY block, go to X -215, Y 145. This is going to move it up to the top left section of the stage. And then you're going to go ahead and set score to 0, and then set clone ID to 0 as well. Next up, you're going to write repeat 10, because we're only going to display the first 10 digits of your number. This is going to be plenty for most of our purposes, but if you need more, you can make that number higher. And then inside that, you're going to say change clone ID by 1, and then create clone of myself. And then you're going to change X by 25. This is going to account for spacing. Let's drag this down here. And then next up, we're going to drag in a when I start as a clone block. And then underneath that, you're going to drag in a forever loop. And inside that forever loop, you are going to drag an if then else statement. And then next up, go over to your operators tab, and then a less than block. And next up, we're going to say if the length of our score variable is less than our clone ID variable, then we are going to hide. And then this is to ensure that we do not have any numbers displaying that aren't in your number yet, like if it's too long. Then in the else part of it, you're going to say show. And then also we're going to switch costume to letter 1 of our, or not letter 1, letter clone ID of our score. Just like that. And then in this top script here, we're going to just put a hide block. And then underneath all of this, we're going to put another when I start as a clone block. And then another forever statement. And then this time we're going to write change y by, and then we're going to drag in a divided by operator block. And then a subtraction operator block. And we're going to write 145 minus our y position divided by 3. He's going to make sure it steadily reapproaches our y position if the value ever changes, and that's what we're going to do here to give our numbers a nice little effect when the number increases. And then underneath this, we're going to say the same thing when I start as a clone, and then a forever loop, we're going to set our old number to, and then we're going to say letter clone ID of score. Let's drag this down a little bit. And then next up, we're going to put a wait until block. And then inside that, we're going to say wait until our old number is not equal to the letter clone ID of score. Just like that. And this is just a simple script to detect if the current number has changed, and if it has changed, we're going to say change y by 15. And then I just whipped up this little quick script to demonstrate the number increasing. And then here you go. As you can see, you're all done and you have a beautiful engine to display any variable that you might use in your game, and here it is compared to your score variable. Well, anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you found it helpful, please subscribe and help me get to 100 before the end of March. And I'd also like to give a shout out to MFF Edits 23, Shalini Kayanam, Mr. Gun Globe Gaming, Tintin Erickson, King Doge YT69, and then Nathan T Vlog. And if you want to shout out in the next one, all you gotta do is subscribe and comment Scratch. Love you guys, bye.